Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. So I tried something different this week in my daily schedules, which I do like this. I took some notes every day about how I felt my lifting went that day if I had in fact lifted that particular day. So I'm going to go through those notes and hopefully give you a more in-depth rundown of how my week went instead of just talking in generality. So if I'm looking down, because I'm looking at my notes with it. So on Monday, I talked about how my hip felt achy on low bar squats. This was before I did the squat PR, and it held up through the weightlifting stuff that I did. I also forgot my SD card, so you won't be seeing any clips from Monday. And that's actually a common theme throughout this week, as I've had some, not camera problems, I've just been stupid with how getting my camera to make sure it works properly. So on Tuesday, notes, I reduced weightlifting work and walking at night. So that's something I've been trying to do a little bit before I go to bed every night. Just go and walk, because I live in this like little neighborhood type thing with my apartment complex, and just go walk around a little bit just to get some of that leisure activity and to just help with general recovery, since I don't really do enough of that, I would say. And deadlifts that day moved well. My hip doesn't really get bothered too bad. I always feel it on deadlifts, but it never is worse on deadlifts. It never is an issue with me doing it. It just is still painful with that. Wednesday, I don't believe I worked out, or I didn't write down anything. Thursday is when I had my squat PR, and I was stupid and did not bring my other battery that I have, or fully charge the one that I was using. So right after I did my squat PR, I got extremely lucky. My camera died after I did the rep. That's why you're able to see it, and why I was able to post it online on Instagram and whatnot for this video. So I lucked out on that, but I wasn't able to record anything else I did that day. I believe I just did some rows and stuff after that. I didn't do too much after the squat stuff. I may have also did a little bit of bench stuff as well, but nothing that I got on film because my battery died, which was also nerve-wracking because I wanted to look at the rep too to make sure it looked good, and I had to wait till I got home to my computer to figure that out. Friday, I do believe I worked out, or I did work out actually, now that I remember. I didn't take any notes because it was just like an accessory day. I didn't really do much. I mostly just kind of hung out at the gym and just wasted several hours of my time, but it was productive accessory work, and I don't do enough of that. In general, I just don't do enough of the little things like that, like base pulls and pull-ups and curls and all of that fun shenanigans. That isn't really that fun. Today, Saturday, the notes that I took today is I took a better pause on my bench today, so I worked up to 315 again today, and I did what I consider to be a very good pause and a very good just rep in general for working at 100% of my 1 rep max. So I'm very happy with that, and that'll be a good starting point for my taper, which I'll get into in a little bit. On deadlifts, I did 535 for 4 reps, where I hook grip the first rep, and then the other 3 I use my weightlifting straps for. One thing I want to try to do when I deadlift is to keep the bar just a little bit closer, because I feel like I'm getting into the position that I would get in normally with a deficit, where the bar has to be a little bit further away because I have to squat down a bit more to get into the position to grab the bar. So I want to simulate or get into a better position when I'm doing pulls from the floor, and just have that bar just slightly. It wasn't extreme or anything bad. It was just a little bit where I'm probably just not quite as efficient. And I guess kind of a positive today, I was very tired when I worked out today, so I was not really that hyped up for any of the stuff, and I was still able to do the deadlifts and to do well on the bench, as well as to do some accessory stuff as well. It helps that I was able to sleep a lot, and it's Saturday and my school's on spring break, so I've been, yesterday and today I got a lot of sleep, which is very, very nice with that. But I've been in talks with Derek Mortensen, which some of you may follow in here. If you don't, you should. I'll put a link to his channel down below. But he's working with me to develop a taper program for my meet that's going to be happening June 4th, 3rd or 4th, whatever that Sunday is, around that date, because I found out that I need a 1422 total in order to be able to compete at nationals in the fall. Now, that wouldn't guarantee me going to nationals in the fall. I would still have to for myself get to that like 1550 total in order to try to qualify for the Arnold to be there. So if I'm not at that point, then I'm not going to just go and do nationals just to do it. But in order for me to do a 1422 total, if I had a this was the first edition I did up, but obviously I did 455, so this isn't 100% accurate. But I would need a 450 squat, a 335 bench, and like a 635 deadlift with that. So if I'm able to get some extra weight on my squat, which I should be able to with the taper and actually focusing on the low bar form, I should be able to get closer to hopefully 465 for potentially closer to 480 if I am grooving everything, which maybe I will be. Bench, I would hope 335 is way out of the question, I think, but I think around 320 or 325 would not be an unrealistic jump to make. My opener will probably be about 300 to 305, then I'll jump up to about 315 and then make a jump from there based on how that went. Deadlifts are a question mark. They've been moving well, but I've been doing a lot of deficits, so I haven't been working with maximal weights with it. But if the 535 today is any indication, then I should be good to go to pull something, probably open with like a 575-ish to a 600 and then go from there with it. My attempts on deadlift will be determined a lot by how my attempts on squat go, because if I'm able to get closer to a 480 or plus squat, I'm not going to worry about trying to get that super crazy maximal lift on deadlifts. My goal is to hit that 1422 if I'm able to do that. Ideally, I'd be able to do that on my second attempt on deadlifts, and then I'd be good to go to try something for my third attempt, but that's the goal. I may not get it. It's not something I'm extremely worried about if I don't, because it's still a big if I'm able to put on like another 130 pounds on my total by the fall to qualify for the Arnold. But with this taper, I mean, I'm surprised myself every other day. I didn't think I could do a 315 bench. That 455 squat came out of nowhere. So with the taper and all of that, and just cutting down my volume and really planning it out intelligently with the help of Derek Mortensen, I'm hopefully will be able to have a really good meet and to hit that magical 1422 total, and to start working towards hitting that thing in, sorry, this is my phone, but hitting that 1550-ish total that I want to be able to hit by the fall in order to get to the Arnold. So hopefully I'm able to do that. That's obviously what I want to do, so it'd be wrong of me to say that I don't care, but that's what I want to do. But if I don't, I'm not going to be overly upset, because as of now I'm hitting a massive PR anyway. Even if I have a bad meet and have like a 1400 total, that's like 120 some pound PR for my last meet with that. And in the worst case scenario, if I don't get that total, then I'm not obviously going to do the meet in the fall, which means I'm not going to do a meet until this time next year, and then essentially do the same thing I'm trying to do this year, because by this time next year, if I should be well over that 1422 total, and I should be right near that 1500, 1550 or whatever, I should be continuing to make a lot of progress next year with that. So this year is a bit of a push, but if I can, that would be really cool. So perfect year would be that 1422 total at this meet, a 15 whatever I need to get a 440 Wilks and the meet in the fall, and then compete in the Arnold next year. But if not, then push that all back another year with that. And frankly, it wouldn't make too big of a difference for me, since I'll be in the Open regardless, and I believe all the totals that I would need are going to be stable for another year, like next year through everything. So if I'm able to do it next year, then I should be good. I don't have to worry about the totals going up or anything like that. So that's really about it that I have for this video. So, well, I will end with this note saying, talking about Derek Mortensen's program. I haven't looked through it yet. I haven't gotten it yet. But essentially, I think it's like 4 or 5, and maybe even 6 weeks of just a plan that's for powerlifting, and it will still have some weightlifting components, but they'll be very light. And like I say, I still want to practice the movements with that, but I also want to get my hip right and not strain my hip, or push my hip or injure it more by doing the weightlifting stuff. I want to do well in this meet, and then this summer will be a lot of weightlifting stuff. But those are things I'll worry about more after the meet. My big focus now is to finish up the school year strong and to do well at this meet, because that June 4th or 3rd, whichever date that it is, will be like a couple days after my school year for my school that I teach at ends. So that will be very, very nice as well, because then I'll be able to have that, and then I'll have the whole summer to do lots of training and to just get super big and buff and not tan, because I don't tan, because I'm white as, well, frankly, as white as this paper. But anywho, so I'll end this video here. So if you have any thoughts or comments or questions, leave those down below. If anyone is curious on minds.com, and you can look in the description down below, I do post all the workout clips that I post on Instagram, and I started a VidMe account just to put all my videos from all my channels on there. But I do a blog post once a week where I put all those videos from the Gym of Random channel into one blog post. So it's a little bit easier to just go through every clip if that's something that you would want to do. I'm trying to use some different social media sites that I actually enjoy now, which VidMe is one, VIDME, and Minds.com, which Minds.com, if you haven't used it, it's kind of like a Twitter with YouTube components with it. That's how, more or less, it's kind of like a mix between Facebook and Twitter, and then VidMe is like an alternate to YouTube with that. So just different things I'm playing around with, and I'll be able to do more of that during the summer. But anywho, I'll quit rambling. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Peace.